So it's finally here. Today, the Defence Secretary will unveil the long-awaited Strategic Defence Review, the SDR, setting out how the UK is going to move to what he calls a state of warfighting readiness. This morning, Prime Minister Keir Starmer's been at Govan Shipyard in Scotland, where they're building the Royal Navy's new Type 26 frigates, setting out what he says will be a landmark shift in Britain's deterrence and defence.
The threat we now face is more serious, more immediate, and more unpredictable than at any time since the Cold War. We face war in Europe, new nuclear risks, daily cyber attacks, growing Russian aggression in our waters, menacing our skies, their reckless actions driving up the cost of living here at home, creating economic pain and hitting working people the hardest.
So this review was overseen by three key people: Lord Robertson, a former Secretary-General of NATO and Defence Secretary under Tony Blair, Dr. Fiona Hill, who's a Brit but is a former White House advisor on Russia, and General Sir Richard Barrons, who previously led Joint Forces Command. So what do we know about this SDR? Well, the government has already made a couple of big announcements, including plans to build up to 12 new nuclear-powered attack submarines, 7,000 new long-range missiles, as well as 6 new munitions factories. There's also going to be £1.5 billion in extra funding for military homes. And today, Keir Starmer said the world had changed and we're entering a new era for defence and security.
The moment has arrived to transform how we defend ourselves and to renew our nation. An investment in British pride and the British people. A defence dividend that will be felt in the pockets of working people and the prosperity of the country, securing growth for generations to come.
So the government's also announced plans to set up a new cyber command to ramp up the military's cyber warfare capabilities, plus £15 billion to modernise UK nuclear weapons production. Keir Starmer said Britain would turn the peace dividend that Europe gained after the Cold War into a defence dividend that will boost investment and jobs. But he was pressed on where the money for this is all coming from. Labour have pledged to raise defence spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2027, with a long-term goal of reaching 3% by 2034. But some other NATO members are going further, and the PM was pressed on why the UK isn't spending more.
When we won the general election in 2024 last year, we said we'd do 2.5% within this Parliament. As the circumstances dictated, we then brought that forward to 2027. So you can see the way I work, which is being clarity about what we want to achieve, putting in the date when we know exactly how we can achieve it. The same with the 3%. That is what we want to achieve because of the different world that we live in.
This SDR is also going to set out a new 20-40-20 way of fighting, where drones and autonomous vehicles, robots, will be incorporated into the way the British military fights. This review has been around a year in the making, and we'll get more details later today on things like support for Ukraine when the full 130-page report is published.
Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.